Hello and welcome to another weather video. Today is another update on the upcoming storm system coming through later tonight. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. So right now we're looking at the storm prediction centers. They issue an outlook every day on where they're expecting possible severe weather, and you can see right here there is a slight risk over portions of Illinois and Indiana, a marginal risk that covers areas all the way from Arkansas all the way up to Pittsburgh. So the marginal risk is a level 1 out of 5, and the slight risk is a level 2 out of 5 for severe weather. So we're expecting possible severe thunderstorms, especially in this yellow area, but also in this green area too. The tornado risk is a 5% over Illinois and Indiana, a very small corridor aligned with that slight risk. This is where the storms are going to start popping off, could possibly be supercellular and separated in nature, and that'll make their tornado possibility a lot more. And then as they extend more to the east, their tornado probability dies down a lot. Looking at the wind, same thing. 15% aligned with that slight risk, and then a 5% extending everywhere else, and a small 5% corridor of hail from Peoria, Illinois, up past Chicago to parts of northwest and southern Michigan. Now this is looking at the actual convective models itself. We can actually, looking overall, you can see, let me go back. As this storm system comes through, you can see the low pressure system deepens from around a 999 millibar system all the way down to a 980, possibly even down further. And that's what we call a bomb cyclone. Basically, when a low pressure system drops down in pressure by a certain amount over a certain period of time, so for this purpose I'm just going to say a lot, that's called a bomb cyclone, and it can cause really strong winds near the center of that and a lot of precipitation. So this one is a bomb cyclone, and on the northern side of that, we're going to be seeing some extremely strong and heavy snowfall rates, up to an inch, 2 inches, 3 inches per hour with those heavier bands. And we could see snowfall totals greater than a foot in some of these places. We'll get into that later. Focusing on the severe weather threat for now, you can see in that slight risk corridor where those storms just start to begin to pop up, and they're kind of isolated in nature. That gives them a little bit of a higher tornado threat and wind threat just because of that. They're going to be supercellular in nature. But once they congeal into a line, that's mainly going to be a wind threat. So I'm going to take a sample from right here, view sounding. And if we just zoom into this, now basically just point out some of the parts I'm reading on this. So looking at the space between this white dashed line and this red line, which is the temperature, this is as you go up in the atmosphere, everywhere between that is called the CAPE, and that's how much energy you have in the atmosphere. You need about 1,000 for strong storms or thunderstorms. We have about 500 right here in Illinois and Indiana around that border. So that's still enough for thunderstorms, but they're still going to struggle to unlock their full potential. Now, if you look at the wind shear up here, basically, simplest terms, all you're looking for is any kind of curve. You can see this red one's, it's curving a lot, so that means there's a lot of directional shear in the atmosphere. And there's probably some speed shear too, but definitely directional wind shear because the jet stream is coming in perfectly, and it's just a lot of wind shear for this. Same for the meters squared per second squared. That's forgetting what that's called. SRH, storm relative helicity. So it's also another value explaining how much it can spin. So these storms have a lot of wind shear, a lot of moisture, but what they don't have is instability with that CAPE. So that's what's really taming the severe weather threat. We take one over here by Cincinnati, Ohio. See, kind of the same. Still plenty of wind shear for organized storms and organized updrafts, but the CAPE itself is pretty much non-existent. There's practically no CAPE at all, and in fact there's a lot of SIN-H, which means the storms, there's kind of a cap in the atmosphere that's going to make these storms not want to form. Now, since they're already formed, they're still going to come through just fine, but they're likely to be not as strong. On the backside of this, as these storms move all the way through this, a big old blast of cold temperatures. Some places ahead of this are going to be 40 degrees above average. We'll then see 20 degrees below average temperatures with some snow on the back end of that. A lot of lake effect snow. These snow machines are going to turn on the western sides of Michigan and southern sides of Lake Erie. So we'll see some snow accumulations there. Now I'm going to zoom in more to here, and this will kind of show us. Geez, sorry, that's not good. Oh, that's perfect. This will kind of show it more in detail. So you can see there were these early storms that were moving through Illinois and Indiana. These caused some damage, ripped a roof off of a place, but this is the corridor we're expecting the most severe weather. You can see just as the storms start. Then they congeal into a line and move to the east and eventually die out. And then again, snow comes through with the lake effect snow. Machines turning on. So looking at the snow totals, here we go. You can see, I mean, where this is going through. Some places in here could pick up 12 inches of snow. Upper Panhandle of Michigan, we could see up to 20 inches of snow, anywhere above 17 inches. So anywhere in this purple is above 6 inches of snow. And then you can also see the lake effect snow. And these totals here, 5 inches in northern Indiana, then some streaks of heavier snow throughout Ohio and Lake Erie. One thing I do want to show you is we actually currently do have a tornado warning as I'm filming this. This is the actual line of storms that is extending and coming in and heading to the east. This will stay the strongest throughout this yellow area. Anywhere in this yellow, this is a tornado watch, which means conditions are favorable for tornadoes. But once they get past this, they'll start to weaken off. They're already congealing into a pretty big line, but you can still see there's some isolated cells that are still just congealed together. Still creates that possibility of tornadoes. So especially with this one, if I go to velocity, you can see there's a little bit of spin right here. So that could be a tornado. Just looking all along this line, you're just watching for these little areas of spin. Like, that looks like just some wind. But still that possibility of tornadoes anywhere in this yellow zone, which is the tornado watch extending all the way down to parts of Kentucky. Basically just saying there's a chance of tornadoes with any storm that gets strong enough to produce that. Now looking outside where I am, it's partly cloudy, and the less cloudy it is, the more instability that will build up in the atmosphere. So if we see it continue to be partly cloudy and that sun gets to heat up the ground, the instability is going to shoot up, and our possibility of getting stronger storms will increase as well, because they're going to have more instability to really grab onto and unlock their full potential, per se. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I'm going to go live tonight to keep you guys updated if you want to watch it. If not, totally fine, because I'm going to watch it anyways. Might as well go live. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, just subscribe. Thank you so much.